City Council to order. Today is Monday, April 18th, 2022. We'll start with the invocation. Is there someone here from Bethel Baptist Church?
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the day that you've given us. We thank you for the city of Oskaloosa. We reflect on the generations of people that have lived here, worked here, and tried to make it a great place to work, do business, to raise families. We thank you for that. I pray for the meeting tonight and the people here present, that they'd have wisdom and insight into the matters of the city. And I pray that everything would be done considering others too as well. We thank you at this Easter time also for what you've done for us in your death, burial, and resurrection, and what that means for us for salvation. We thank you for that and pray that you would bless this meeting. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Almond. Here.
Burnett.
Here.
Caligari.
Here.
Comfort.
Here.
Dross.
Here.
Hermson.
Here.
Ocean.
Here.
Okay. First item up on the agenda tonight is the opportunity for community comments. This item is reserved to receive comments from the community for concerns whether or not they're included on the current agenda. The community is encouraged to speak before the mayor and city council. Asked to keep statements brief, time limited to no more than 3 minutes. Any questions should be asked to the city staff, council members, or the mayor prior to speaking to the full council, so concerns can be properly researched and answered away from the meeting. Comments are to be directed to the mayor and city council only. Is there anyone who would like to speak tonight? Okay, please come to the microphone. Name and address, please.
I'm here with my wife, Diane. I'm Rod Hicks. I lived here in Oskaloosa for a long time. We live at 520 South M. We've got a problem there, and this has been an ongoing thing. We built this house 10 years ago. The apartment complex to the north of us has a garbage problem there. And this has led to animals, raccoons. We've even got a fox that showed up that's sickly. It looks like it's rabid. I've been to the county, the fire department. They've helped us out a little bit on it. It's an ongoing problem that just absolutely will not stop. We could go out in our yard on a weekly basis and pick up garbage that's either blowed over or, with the winds being like they are, it's worse. It's not helping matters. I realize that. We've also got there was a person that passed away in that apartment complex, and his car has been there for
Probably 2 years. It's just been sitting in the parking lot.
and there's tires sitting around.
I think the last person that was out there, it might have been somebody with the fire department. They said that they were going to check the VIN tag because it didn't have any license plates on it. So they were going to find out who it belonged to. Maybe they had family, they could come take care of it, but we've never heard anything since then. And that was last summer, so.
It's not really so much the car, it's the tires that are around there and the garbage. But this is leading up to the problem that's going on there. It's owned by a place in Des Moines.
It's the Meadowbrook Apartments there on South Main Street.
Oh. Okay.
They have a dumpster.
I've even went so far as to went up there and build myself for them, kind of like a cul-de-sac looking thing to where the dumpster sits inside of it, but the dumpster never gets put back where it's supposed to. They don't. The lids don't ever get closed.
That's what I was going to ask. I know where you're at. I've visited there, but you guys built that containment because I usually park right next to it. Okay.
Yeah, they sent a guy out and he didn't know what he was doing, and Rodney seen him and he went over and started helping him build it up, and,
Okay.
yeah, it doesn't help.
Yeah. I don't know what to do about it. Kind of at my wits end with it because I'm getting tired of picking up garbage.
Okay.
You know, we try to take real good care of our place, and this is kind of the things it leads to.
It wouldn't bother me so much picking up, you know, paper, pop cans, whatever, but when it comes to dirty diapers and other such things, I'm getting a little sick of it.
Understood.
Yeah. I would too.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Chief? Yeah, if you could.
Yeah.
So I'm the fire chief, I just started a month ago, so I don't know that I've met you yet or had contact with you yet, but
No, not
I'll give
yet.
you my business card tonight. Hopefully be able to touch base with you tomorrow over there. I'll bring the code enforcement over there with me, the officer with me, and we'll kind of go over your concerns and get the address, find out who owns that place, and give them a letter and give them our expectations.
Well, I feel like I'm gonna start charging them for doing it.
We can do that too.
Does he- that was done
anybody ever
a while back.
contacted the landlord?
Yeah, it's- they're-
Well, I haven't heard the complaint or the concern yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we certainly could.
Okay,
Yeah,
we can just
yeah.
take care of it, so.
Yeah, one of you guys on the department was there. I don't even know what I can't think of his name.
The old one was the old fire. Dustin. I think it was Dustin was the old,
Dustin.
the old, yeah.
Mhm.
Now it's Zach, I think.
We've got a new code officer now, they've gone out within a couple of days a week, and we'll definitely, I'll get you my card, we'll get some contact information from you, we'll touch base with you tomorrow and get right on it.
We have a lot of kids in that neighborhood. And one of my fears is, you know, that fox is gonna
Yeah.
grab hold of them.
Understood.
And we don't need that.
No.
Absolutely.
We do not need that. So-
Do you know if anybody's ever contacted the landlord? You ever heard? If anybody's ever talked to the guy that owns the place?
I talked to
I
him
think
twice.
they've tried.
They have?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they're aware of the problem, it's just, you know, it's not getting anything done.
Sure. Okay.
We can help out with that.
Mhm.
I'm probably not gonna let this go. So,
Yeah,
No,
understood.
yeah,
you
no.
know, so be aware of that, I guess.
Understood.
I think we need to move on this and move pretty quick on it.
Yep, think so too.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So we don't want to see him in 2 weeks.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak tonight? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. Next up is the adoption and consent agenda as presented. These are all items that are routine in nature. They'll be acted on in a single motion. There were only a few things that I wanted to draw the council's attention to. Item G, which is a motion to reduce the days of operation for the Edmondson pool. So we would be closed on Mondays, open Tuesday through Sundays. Consider a motion appointing a representative to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Rob Bean has applied for reappointment. There's a resolution allowing the disposal of surplus city-owned equipment. There's a couple mowers, 1998 models. Apparently, they've given us a lot of good use. I'll leave it at that. Do we have a motion of support for the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Are we sure that we don't have enough lifeguards? Is that, I mean, they've already, Gladys has already said they don't have enough, is that?
Right. Well,
Okay.
at least that's the information provided.
Yes, so we took applications, we always take them through April, or through, March. We will continue to take them, but with the ones that have come in and the ones that we know are currently in the training class, because you can't just start in May
Yeah.
if you don't have the training, because you have to go through that training. She took a hard look at it, because she was concerned we might have to close 2 days. We used to have 30 guards, and we even struggled at that point. Now with the numbers that we're seeing this year, she said that this one day we should go do it. Now that doesn't mean that there might not be times when they have to close a slide or do something like that because we don't have enough staff that day if somebody gets sick, but.
And did they use the Y lifeguards too? Do some of those, Kate used to be a lifeguard, my boy, so did they do some of those kids?
They have to apply for the position here, but yes,
Okay.
we do have people that work at the Y as well, so.
Okay, I didn't know if they could help out for that, okay.
Yeah.
Because there's gonna be somebody that's gonna say, why are we closing the pool? You know, that's why I was
Yeah.
just making sure we
The
exhausted.
Y pool is closed.
Yeah,
And it's just the number of staffing that we have to have. And the other thing that we're doing, that I think we started doing, this is our 3rd year, is the
top slide does not have to be a certified lifeguard. So we're using somebody there that doesn't have to be a certified lifeguard. So that helps our spread our guards. But right now they'll all be working definitely 5 days a week, and then some when somebody's on vacation. So it's I get ClerksNet. It's all city clerks get an email, and there was probably 5 postings about this exact same thing today, and 5 cities were saying that they're just going to have to close down and reduce their services. So it's unfortunately it's a problem.
Sure.
Is there a safety issue on how many hours a lifeguard can work?
That's partly why
Right.
we're doing this much.
Right, because even if you're working 5 days, then too much overtime.
Right. And you have to rotate them. They have to go out on rotation, so we want to make sure we're doing that. We have some that are under 15, so we have to make sure we're
Wow.
about that. I think probably about half of them this year might be under 15, or 15, not under 15, but 15. So yeah, so that's why we're recommending this for the safety issue.
Any other comments on the consent agenda? Roll call, please.
Burnett,
Yes.
Calgery,
Yes.
Comfort,
Yes.
Drost,
Yes.
Hermson,
Yes.
Ocean,
Yes.
Almond.
Yeah.
Okay, that passes. Gets us into the regular agenda. Item A is to consider a resolution on the vacation and sale of a 120-foot by 16.5-foot section of the east-west alley adjacent to 207 South 3rd Street. We've received an alley vacate request from Steve Brown on behalf of St. James Episcopal Church. For that alley, they would like to purchase the land to pave it and provide better access to the property. It is in a commercial DC zoning district. Church included a letter with the application requesting to waive the purchase price of the alley, which is $1,980, at the city's set rate of $1 per square foot for a commercial alley. The Oskaloosa Municipal Code, section 12.24.060, states that the city may not dispose of a vacated street or alley or portion thereof by gift, except to a governmental body for a public purpose. Staff did conduct a survey of the property owners with direct access to the alley. 5 property owners were surveyed for the request. 2 responses received. Both of them were not opposed to vacating the alley. Property to the south of the alley, the First Baptist Church, uses the alley for access to their parking on the south side of the alley, which would require an easement for their access. Staff spoke with a representative of First Baptist Church. They've indicated they're in agreement with the alley vacation, provided their access is allowed, and also indicated that they don't want to purchase any part of the alley, that there are existing utilities in the location, so that will require an access agreement as well. Planning and Zoning Commission reviewed the request at their meeting on April 5th of 2022, recommending by a vote of 6-0 to approve the alley vacate and sale. So this does require a public hearing, and so I'll open the hearing. Is there anyone who would like to speak at this time? Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Do we have a motion regarding this request?
Moved. Second.
Okay, I'm going to ask for clarification that they have asked for a waiver of the $1,980 purchase price. Does the motion include or exclude the purchase price?
Include.
Includes. Okay. The second? Understood? Okay. Comments?
So we're voting on that they do pay the purchase price or they do not pay the purchase
They
price?
do. Correct?
Correct. And the reason they're purchasing this alley is so they can resurface it?
Yeah, and then their own access, but yes.
So they're gonna pay to reconcrete this thing?
Yep.
All right.
Other comments?
Mr. Mayor, could I clarify?
Sure.
Yeah.
At the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, their vote to approve was without any fee waivers. So I think the council should be aware of that recommendation.
Okay, thank you.
Did they recommend no fee waivers?
The commission recommended that no fees should be waived.
And the cost of the redo is gonna be all on them.
Correct.
The resurfacing is gonna be on them,
Correct.
which would be way more than 1,000.
So they should pay the $1,980, the zoning commission said they should pay the $1,980.
Correct. They should pay the fee to purchase the land and the application fees so that there should be no waivers for the alley vacate.
Interesting.
That was their recommendation.
So how does it get in front of us without?
Yeah, okay.
That was just additional information that was provided, that was their request.
Oh,
and
gotcha.
then here's
Okay.
what P&Z
All right.
decided.
And standard, per code, the dollar square foot is what applies.
Yep, and it's
Which
been that
isn't
way for
anything
years.
unusual.
Yeah.
And if you start,
So we're voting to approve per the set code cost of acquisition.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Calgery,
Yes.
Comfort,
Yes.
Drost,
Yes.
Hermson,
yes.
Ocean,
Yes.
Almond,
Yes.
Burnett.
Yeah.
Okay, that passes. Item B, this is to consider a resolution levying a special assessment against private property for snow removal by the city of Oskaloosa. This is in accordance with section 12.12 of the city code of the city. There are 2 properties, as I remember. It comes to a total of $500. Does require a public hearing. Is there anyone who would like to speak to this? Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. There were certified notices sent to each property owner. A notice was published in the Oskaloosa Herald, and if approved, the property owner has 30 days from the time of filing with the Mahasset County Treasurer to pay for the snow removal in the city clerk's office. After the 30 days, it's assessed on their property taxes with a payment schedule of 9% interest. So, do you have a motion of support for this?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
303 is not paying.
Roll call, please.
Comfort,
Yes.
Drost,
Yes.
Hermson,
Yes.
Ocean,
Yes.
Almond,
Yes.
Burnett,
Yes.
Calgery,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item C. This is to consider a resolution accepting the purchase application and approving the conveyance of city-owned property located adjacent to 433 North 6th Street to Anthony and Diane Irwin for $500. The city did receive a purchase application for the property. Tony Irwin is the neighbor, submitted the offer of $500 for the southernmost 60 feet. So it's 60 by 110 feet of the city-owned parcel located in an R1, which is a single-family residential zoning district. Just planning to add yard space and put a shed on it. Staff and water department have no concerns on the sale of the property. It wouldn't support construction of a new home given the topography, and the city doesn't really have any interest in holding the property, and there are no utilities present within the portion to be sold. So the buyer would be responsible for any related survey and acquisition costs. Staff recommends the property be sold to them in accordance with city policy. If approved, the property would be sold by quitclaim deed. I'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone who would like to speak to this? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Do we have a motion of support for this?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
This is a dead end, so there's nothing there. I know where that's at, yeah.
And you said per city policy, so with alleys, we have $1 per square foot, but with vacant lots, we don't have a minimum per square foot or anything?
We have a minimum bid price, which is $1,000 unless it's a neighbor. The minimum is $500.
Cool, good to know, thank you.
Roll call, please.
Drost,
Yes.
Hermson,
Yes.
Ocean,
Yes.
Almond,
Yes.
Burnett,
Yes.
Calgery,
Yes.
Comfort,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Gets us to item D. This is to consider a motion accepting or rejecting an offer from Robinson Outdoor for perpetual easement to build a digital billboard on city-owned property located at 204 North C Street. In the information provided to council, he made the offer to build a digital billboard. Lot dimensions 60 foot by 114 foot, zoned UC, which is mixed use urban corridor district. $30,000 for a 40 foot by 40 foot perpetual easement. They'll purchase property if required. V-shaped digital billboard facing A Avenue with 2 10 by 20 foot display panels totaling 400 square feet. A 35 foot high structure height, which is increased from the original offer of 25 foot. Placed 10 feet from the front property line and 5 foot from the side property lines. They would pay expenses in surveying, electrical service, title work, and permits. Stipulations that the future owners can't construct anything to block their sign. It's conditioned on receiving required state and local permits, and the city may utilize the sign for public announcements or promotions. The city's property assessment is $9,780. The assessor classifies the land as residential, and indicates the city purchased this property in 2013 for $59,500. And I'm going to go ahead and read out the staff review as well, that there are several conflicts related to adopted codes and policies. So our zoning code prohibits off-premise signs on public property. The maximum permitted area of freestanding signs is 216 square foot, and the maximum height is 25 feet. So this proposal exceeds those standards. Multiple variances would be required from the Board of Adjustment without an apparent hardship, and furthermore, if approved and constructed, the sign would eliminate the ability to place other freestanding tenant signs on the property in the future. So, I think I'll leave it at that. Do we have a motion from council to accept or deny?
I'd move to deny.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion?
It's tempting for $30,000. I mean, just honestly, it is tempting for that price. I mean, we know from selling other vacant lots, you don't get $30,000 to sell those lots.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
We're awesome.
It's the wrong place.
I think it's the wrong place. I think if it was something at the edges of town,
Yeah.
I think it'd just be much more appropriate for that size of sign.
Hasn't there been something before on that main entrance? I mean, otherwise we're sort of looking like the Ozarks that used to in the 80s.
Well, I'm not sure what you mean by the main entrance.
But I mean, wasn't there some kind of beautification for A Avenue? Hadn't there been something in years past?
The commercial or the
That's our
comprehensive
gateway.
plan back
That's
in
your
the day.
first impression.
Yeah.
It's in the old, or the current, I should say, comp plan.
Okay.
There's pretty pictures in there.
Yeah. So this
Just
sort
ideas.
of seems, I haven't seen that, but it seems to contradict.
Yeah, and when we were writing up that comp plan back then, one of our concerns was light noise and distractions to drivers. And so a sign of this size was not contemplated as something we were excited about back then. Although if you're running for re-election, boy, that's the kind of sign you want.
I know.
Maybe we can lay
You
that
have to worry
to-
about that for a few more years maybe.
Don't tempt us.
Okay, other comments? Roll call, please. This is to deny.
Hermson,
Yes.
Ocean,
Yes.
Allman,
Yes.
Burnett,
Yes.
Calgery,
Yes.
Comfort,
Yes.
Strauss,
Yes.
Okay, it is denied. That gets us to item E. Yep. Consider a resolution approving and authorizing an application for the State of Iowa Revised Iowa Sound Economy Grant. This is for the US 63 Iowa 23 Connector Project. So back on January 18th, the council had a study session to discuss efforts by the city, chamber, Mahaska County, McClure Engineering, and area owners on an application to create a 500-acre Iowa certified site. It's at the Southeast Industrial Park. Application documents for the Step 3 final submission are due by May 9th. The state will have up to 12 months after submittal to review and decide on the certification. So with the pending certified site application, the city and Mahaska County each passed a resolution on January 18th to apply to the Iowa DOT for a RISE grant application to build the Southeast Connector Road from Highway 63 south of town to Highway 23 and ultimately Osborne Avenue. And it all goes past the Southeast Industrial Park. Estimated cost to build the two-lane roadway is now $11.3 million, increased from $9.2 million as it was discussed earlier, due to the updated unit costs and addition of turn lanes along the corridor, and that resulted from the required traffic impact study. Grant's cost share remains at 65%, so roughly $7.3 million in RISE funds, leaving a 35% local share of approximately $3.9 million to be shared equally, 50-50 by the city and the county. If funded, the city would be responsible for approximately $2 million to build the road. So the resolution provided updates the local approval for the RISE grant application. It includes the revised local project cost and confirmation that the project will be maintained and dedicated to public use. The resolution is needed for the upcoming certified site application. So do we have a motion to approve the updated resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion?
It's a long, long process to get here. It's been talked about for at least 20, if not 30 years. And this is, I mean, we talk about the Northwest Bypass getting truck traffic out of the middle of downtown. This one may even have a greater impact with the number of trucks coming from what's now DFS. $2 million for our share is a small price to pay for that. I think just the positive impact it has downtown is worth every penny of it. And it's our chance. This is our chance to get this project done. It's been talked about for a long time. And the city and county are actually working together.
That was my question.
On the project.
That
And
was my question
Sean's been
on
involved
that.
the last few months as well. And this is one that. For all the disagreements that we do have, this is one that we all agree on the benefits of it and willing to work together to get it done.
Because each time that the county stalls, the price goes up.
Yeah, and they have not, there has been no stalling on their part on this project. We've got a number of landowners that required, I mean, it's a lot of conversations and negotiations and working through the process of the certified site number one. And then the RISE grant, and then the future construction of the road. I mean, we're behind our original schedule, but based on time frames it takes to get everything done, discussions that need to happen to get it done, here we are, but we're getting closer. And this just gets us one step farther down the road. So it's been a good process.
Has the county supervisors, have they voted on this yet?
They voted this morning and passed.
They
Yes,
did.
they did.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Ocean,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Burnett,
Yes.
Calgery,
Yes.
Comfort,
Yes.
Dross,
Yes.
Hermson,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Gets us to item F. It's to consider an approval for payment of $17,902.29. It will be to SVPA for the services completed on the Early Childhood Recreation and Education Center. The city received the invoices for services. One invoice in the amount of $4,507.88 for professional services provided as approved by the council resolution number 190460 dated April 15th. Second invoice is in the amount of $13,394.41. Additional services related to quality of construction issues with the swimming pool and delays related to the early childhood wing substantial completion. SVPA Architects and Water's Edge Aquatic Design are providing these services on an as-needed hourly basis, and that's per the AIA-B 101 standard form of agreement between owner and architect. Cost for some of these services may be charged back to the contractor per the owner-contractor agreement and the AIA 201 general conditions of the contract for reconstruction. Staff is recommending approval. Do we have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on that?
No.
We appreciate the work. Roll call, please.
Coleman,
Yes.
Burnett,
Yes.
Calgery,
Yes.
Comfort,
Yes.
Dross,
Yes.
Hermson,
Yes.
Ocean,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Gets us to item G. That's to consider an approval of a payment of $3,500 to Helm Mechanical. This has to do for services completed on the Early Childhood Recreation and Education Center as well. And so this is for sealing and plugging the piping in the pool in preparation for water testing. Staff is recommending approval. Do we have a motion of support?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on this?
That's part of the process we had to have.
Roll call, please.
Burnett,
Yes.
Calgery,
Yes.
Comfort,
Yes.
Dross,
Yes.
Hermson,
Yes.
Ocean,
Yes.
Almond,
Yep.
Okay, that passes. Okay. Last item on the agenda is an update on the code enforcement quarterly report. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor. This is my first report, so I'm learning on the fly here, so any questions you have, make sure you ask. I'll start going back to the fourth quarter of last year and just inform you that of the 37 cases, 36 of those have been resolved. We have one case that has been referred to our city attorney. So that's where we're at from the fourth quarter. Moving into, sorry, the goal, obviously, sorry, Sean.
No.
The goal of the program, obviously, is to get our town cleaned up and looking the way we want it to look. So we're done with the fourth quarter. Moving into our January 1st through March 31st activity, you can see we had 30 cases, 22 which have been resolved. Looking over your totals, you can see that the majority of those are from junk and debris, as is usually the case. Then some other ones that have to do with dilapidated structures and other deficiencies. I don't know, are you doing any of the pictures or anything? Or?
Yep, okay, yep.
Okay, so you can see from the pictures that we've taken, some of them that from the beginning to the end, the abatement or the cleanup that was done, so no need for abatement was necessary. That's on 809 South F. Moving over to 713 3rd Avenue East, we did do an abatement there. First time I'd worked with an abatement since I came over, and the workers that come to do the work are very hard workers and get things done in a timely fashion. So that was all done. Moving on to 328 North Market. Once again, you can see we had a lot of junk and debris, and that was taken care of. 813 High Avenue East is still an open case that we have sent to the city attorney because we have not had any compliance with the hard surface parking there. The next one, 920 A Avenue East, is still an open case, but we've seen significant progress there, and we've been in contact with them, and they are working on that, and we'll continue to monitor that. And then the last one, 1204 2nd Avenue West, was a hard surface parking, and we drove by that the other day, and that has been resolved. So those are some of the highlights. I think the total that we had was 30 for the quarter. I did sit down with Zach after talking to Amy, and I did challenge him that I think we can do better than that. We're going to be looking for probably in the area of 75 to 90 in a quarter. My biggest thing is I want to make sure Zach can get the stuff out, but then turn around and follow up on them. I don't want things to get left unattended and have one slip through the cracks, because one is too many with the type of work we're trying to do. So we want more, we'll get more, but we want to make sure that we can follow up and get all the way through the process. So obviously Zach is new, I am new. He's learning more. He's got a lot of questions. I'm still learning your town. You guys do things different than we did in Fairfield, which, believe me, in a way is good. You're very, very proactive, and I like that. I don't like to be in courthouses with court cases, and that doesn't happen here very often. So that's much appreciated, and I'm open to any of the questions you might have.
I turned one in and 3 days to Zach.
Yep.
There was a kind of a conflict because it was right by my house, and it was taken care of in 3 days. So I appreciate him.
Yeah. Now, most of the people, some of them are almost expecting the call. They're actually waiting for the call. So when they get it, compliance is usually met pretty easily, and we're pretty easy to work with. As long as you show us an effort that you're trying to comply with us, we're going to work with you. Yes, ma'am.
How are vehicles classified? So I have a neighbor, everything on the property is fine, but for, vehicles, tires off, I mean, all sorts of things. It's a hazard.
Is that a police issue or?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It depends on what she's saying.
So they have to be licensed, they have to be registered, and they have to be operable. So what you're telling me is, obviously, if there's no tires on there, they're probably not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Are we saying in the yard or in the street or?
Everything. They're racers. So, and they race on the driveway. I mean, it's really unsafe. Yeah, I know. It's something you would do in the country, on a, So, I don't know, everything else in the house is nice, but there's just tires and vehicles, and they're all scattered all over, and, there's little kids in the neighborhood, and there's 12 neighbors around, they're right in the center.
Well, the
So
hard
it-
surface parking obviously is one where they have to be on a hard surface.
That's what I was
so
gonna
they're not-
ask.
That's an
Okay.
issue, but if you get us an address, we can drive by and look at it. And,
Okay.
Move
Okay.
forward if we need
I guess
to.
it just feels unsafe, because I've got little kids, and those vehicles that are jacked up could,
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Yeah, very much.
That gets us to the end of the regular agenda. Reports from city staff. Acting city manager.
I did just want to point out that we included a memo regarding follow-up to the community comments that we had at our last meeting regarding the 3-lane conversion project. Staff went back, reviewed the video, and tried to address those questions that they had and provide some backup. We did follow back up with Iowa DOT to make sure that our information was still current, and they were kind of like surprised that we were getting any comments to the contrary, that this wasn't the best way to go. So if it's okay with council, then I will follow up with the gentleman and send him a copy of this information.
Okay. Sounds real good. Any questions from council on the memo? Nicely written. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. We don't have the city attorney here tonight. Every quarter, we also give council members the opportunity to talk about the various boards and commissions that they're on, bring the rest of the council up to speed as to what's going on regarding those boards and commissions. Let's start with you, Steve. Anything?
I got nothing for you, nope.
Okay. Rhonda?
Mayor and I are on the landfill, and our landfill manager put his resignation in for July 1st or
July 1st.
July 1st, which is a huge, and he's a great guy, and so the search will be on for us, and the work will be on for us for the landfill, but I've really enjoyed it. I've learned a lot already being on there. There's a lot to learn on that, but he's done a great job, and he's going to be a huge loss for the landfill.
How long had he been there?
2 years.
Okay, I thought it was relatively recent.
Yeah. Very good individual.
Bob?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think Dee did a great job with the chamber update and the consent agenda. We also have a new Main Street director, and so we're moving right ahead.
Okay.
Who's your new Main Street director?
Amy.
Brainer.
Yes, thank you. I was like, I was going to say the wrong. Yes, Amy Brainer.
Charlie?
I just draw council's attention to the MCRF report that Sherry Vavra provided. Annual membership meeting was held back in January. Officers re-elected. I was sick that night.
So what'd you get elected to?
Nothing to my knowledge.
Wow, you got friends. Joe?
The only thing I got is we're working on the comp plan still moving forward. I think we're not having a meeting this month, correct?
Correct. We'll meet next month.
So I don't know when the next public meeting would be for people to come to see what we're doing, like we did in the mall.
Yeah, if I could,
Yep.
Mayor and Council, we at our next Planning and Zoning Commission meeting on May 3rd, Charlie Cowell of RDG will give an update on the project presentation to Planning and Zoning Commission, and then we will have another open house as we get closer to closing the project out. So one more opportunity for the public to get involved.
Very good. Okay. Lisa?
No.
Okay. And I didn't have anything else to add as far as boards and commissions. I did receive a letter today from the Tree City USA, the Arbor Day Foundation gentleman, Dan Lamb, who congratulates Oskaloosa on earning recognition as a 2021 Tree City USA. And so we've been able to get that distinction and recognition every year that I've been mayor, and I think a few before that. So it is a commitment that we make through urban forestry, and so it is something that it's nice to be recognized from time to time. So with that, the next item is to consider going into closed session. This is to consider a closed session under Iowa Code Section 21.5.1.c to discuss strategy with legal counsel on a matter presently in litigation or in which litigation is imminent, where disclosure would be likely to prejudice or disadvantage the city's position. And I need to say in the statement here, acting pursuant to the requirements of Iowa Public Information Board, I, Mayor Dave Kreutzfeldt, would state and indicate that the closed session to follow is to discuss strategy in a pending matter with Maria Brownell, legal counsel for the city of Oskaloosa, Iowa, acting pursuant to the contract that exists between the parties. So do we have a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Caligiuri.
Yes.
Comfort.
Yes.
Dross.
Yes.
Hermson.
Yes.
Ocean.
Yes.
Almond.
Yes.
Burnett.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. So we'll go into closed session at this time and dismiss the audience. So we are back in open session. We've had a discussion regarding the swimming pool at the Y. Do we have a motion?
I'd make a motion to direct Allers and Cooney to issue a notice to cure to Graphite Construction regarding the natatorium.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Dross.
Yes.
Hermson.
Yes.
Ocean.
Yes.
Almond.
Yes.
Burnett.
Yep.
Caligiuri.
Yep.
Comfort.
Absolutely.
Okay, that passes. With that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Absolutely.
So moved.
Boy, this is a gnarly group. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.